So after we have clicked on this pharmaceutical store, it will take us to our home page. In the home page, it will show all the details here: total purchase, total sales, purchase due, invoice due, expenses, and all the different things over here. So the first thing which we have to do is, before when we register in new shop, the first thing which we have to do is we have to add all our products, and we have to add all our categories, brands, units, and all the different things. So the first thing which I will do is I will click on these products, and inside the brands I will go and I will add all the different brands related to which we deal with. So here you can see, like, we have added three different brands over here. You can add multiple brands over here by clicking on this add brand. So after you have added all these different brands, you can go to the categories section. In the categories you can add different categories as well as subcategories for organizing your product. So here we have added different categories as well. So you can add, let me show you a demo category, adding a demo category over here. Okay, I have added a demo category here. Let me click on this add once again and add a subcategory, and I will add as a sub taxonomy. So here it is showing me all the different parent categories over here. I will select the parent category as demo. Okay, so now we added, this is our subcategory and this is our main category over here. The main category was demo here and the subcategory was subcategory. So here in the categories you can set up different categories of the product. So after you have set up your brand, and categories, let us go to our units. So this unit screen, it's quite an important screen. So when we are with a medical, when we are dealing with medicines, like some medicines they will come in different strips, some medicines they will come in bottles, some will like come in pieces. So here we have added a predefined unit which is pieces. Let us assume that a medicine, it has like a strip which consists of 10 pieces. So I will add a strip, I will add a new unit which is strip of 10 pieces. Okay, I will allow decimal as a no. I will select this one, add as multiple of other unit. So here it is asking me one strip of 10 pieces is equals to this, it equals to how many subunits. So one strip of 10 pieces is equals to 10 pieces. Similarly, I can add many different units over here, like strip of 12 pieces. If suppose there is a strip which consists of 12 pieces, you can add a strip of 12 pieces as 12 pieces. You can click on allow decimal as no. I will add strip of 12 pieces is equals to 12 pieces. Okay, let us also assume that, like, we have a cartoon which consists of like 10 different strips of a medicine. So cartoon of 10 strips. See, 10 strips. I will click on allow decimal as no here. So in add as multiple of other units, it is asking me one cartoon of 10 strips is equals to how many pieces. So one cartoon of 10 strips is equals to 10 into 10, which is 100 pieces. So so similarly you can add many different units as well as subunits for it. So one thing you have to look into is first you have to add the smaller unit. So initially we added pieces, which is our smaller unit. Then the bigger unit which we had is strips. There is strip of 10 pieces. Then this we have added strip of 12 pieces. Then we added like a cartoon of 10 strips, where each strips consist of 10 pieces. So it's 10 into 10 is 100 pieces. So here we have configured all the different units. So after we have added the units, let us go to our settings. So since we are using it for a medical shop, we have to enable product expiry, and as well as we have to enable the lot number for the products. So I will search for expiry, enable product expiry. So here in the product section it is showing me like enable product expiry. So we have enabled this product expiry here. So after you have enabled this product expiry, like it will give you two different options, like add item expiry or add item manufacturing date and expiry date. So if suppose you want to enter the manufacturing date as well as expiry date, you can select this option. If you only want to enter the expiry date, you can select like add expiry date only. So here it is selected add manufacturing date and expiry date. So another option which it will show is like on product expiry. So what it should do when the product get expired, like it will keep selling this product, or like it will stop selling n days before the product. So if suppose the product is getting expired tomorrow, so it will stop selling this product 5 days before, or like if suppose I will enter it at 5 years, then it will stop selling this product 5 days before. If I will select keep selling, then it will keep selling this particular product. It will not check for like the product has been expired or it is not expired. It will not stop selling for this particular product for all the products. So let us look into this different settings which we have. Like in the business settings, you can set up different things related to your business, like currency, symbol placement, time zone. You can upload your logo, financial year start. So financial year start, like it's for some country it is January, for like some countries it is on April, and like many different countries they have different financial year start. So you can select the month at which your financial year starts. So stock accounting method, we have FIFO and LIFO. So FIFO is first in first out. So the first product which we have added, so when you are adding inventories into the system, the first inventory which you added, it will first get sold to the customer. If you are selecting FIFO, then it will happen in that way. But if it is in LIFO what will happen is like the newly added stock, it will be sold first from the POS system. So generally for medical shops, like it is FIFO, like first in first out, because like the stock which you added before, it will have an expiry date. Like the chance of reaching the expiry date for that stock is higher as compared to like recently added product. So here in the stock accounting, we will select it as FIFO. You can select like the date format, time format. You can select different taxes over here. In the product, we enable the product expiry date. In the sales, like we can have some default sales discount, we can have some default sales tax over here, we can like assign some sales commission agent. So you will find detailed video on this commission agent as well. In the POS screen, like we can configure different shortcuts for the POS screen here. Similarly for the purchase screen, you can enable different settings related to the purchase screen. As you can see, like for purchase screen, it is like enable lot number. So mostly when we are dealing in a pharmaceutical store, we have to enter the lot number as well. So here we have enabled the lot number. In the dashboard, you can configure the dashboard. You can configure the system here, prefixes, emails, SMS, reward points. You can configure different modules and the custom labels. So the main thing which we have to do in business settings is like in the products we have to enable the product expiry, as well as in the purchase screen we have to enable the lot number. So this is the two main things which we have to do. And the third thing we have to do is, like in the business setting, the stock accounting method, it should be in the FIFO. So we have set up all these business settings. So let us go to the business locations. So if your pharmaceutical store, it has different locations, then inside the business location you can set up multiple locations. Here you can add a new location. So here in the new location I will add a test location here. Location ID, landmark, city, zip, I will enter state, country. Invoice scheme is default, invoice layout is this one, default selling price. So what all payment methods we want to enable for this particular location? So I want to enable cash, card, check. I want to disable these three: custom payment 1, 2 and 3, others, as well as I only want to enable these 4 different payment methods for this particular location. I can also link default payment accounts for this particular location. Sorry, so I clicked on the close button here. Let us leave this one. So similarly, if you go to the invoice settings, in the invoice settings you can set up the invoice scheme. So the invoice scheme is basically like the number which is generated for the invoice. So every invoice, it will have a unique number. So what should be the format of this number? So here we have 2 different formats. One is like this particular format, and second one is like it format with an year prefix. So here you can see like it is showing a preview over here. Here it is showing a preview which consists of a prefix of the current year. Let me select this one here, test scheme. Okay, instead of, I can add some prefix over here. Let me add prefix as test. So here you can see like it is displaying a preview over here. Start is from 10. So here it is showing test 0010. So like I can also increase this one, this particular like number of digits over here. Let me set it as 4. Okay, and I will save this particular invoice scheme. So you can select any number of invoice scheme. You can add any number of invoice scheme from the screen, and you can set any of this scheme as a default scheme. So after you have set up the invoice scheme, you can go to the invoice layout. Inside the invoice layout, we can set up a invoice layout over here. This is the name of the invoice layout. You can select different designs over here. So in the designs, we have the option for classic, elegant, detailed, customized, textures, and the slim. So all these classic, elegant, detailed, customized, columnized texts, these are for like A4 or A5 paper size. But if suppose you want to print in a thermal printer, then for that you have to use the slim invoice type. So let us first start with an elegant invoice design. You can add some header here. You can set up the invoice settings over here. Okay, the main thing we have to do is like if suppose we want to show the expiry date for the product, so we can select this particular option, show expiry date. And if suppose we want to show the lot number as well, so you can select this one, show lot number in the invoice. You can configure many different things from here related to the invoice settings. Okay, so that's all in the invoice setting. You can set up the invoice number and the invoice layout here. So after you have created invoice scheme and the invoice layout, you can set all these invoice schemes and invoice layout as the default for any of this particular location. So if suppose I will click on this edit of the location, inside this it will show me an option for the invoice scheme here. It will show me an option for the invoice layout. So this invoice scheme and this invoice layout will be used for this particular location. Let me click on the save here. Okay, so it got updated. So next, let us come to the product section. We will add a new product here. Let me go to the add product. Okay, let me add a product as video demo Okay, I will leave the SKU as blank. If suppose you have a predefined SKU for the product, you can add the SKU here. Units is in pieces. The brands is like I will select this brand. Category is capsules. The subcategory is none. Here I can select all the locations where this product will be available. Currently I have only one location, which is Awesome Pharmacy, so it is showing me only one location here. I can select all the different locations in which this particular product will be available. I can manage, if suppose I want to enable stock management for this product, so I can check this one, manage stock, which is mostly recommended. Like if you are using Ultimate POS for stock management, you should like manage stock for the product. If this is a service, then you can uncheck this one, but like if this is a product, then you have to check this particular option. I can set an alert quantity. So this alert quantity is like if suppose the stock gets below 10, then it will show me an alert like the stock of this particular product is below 10. So based on that alert, I can like order some more quantities to my supplier. I can add some product description over here. The expiry is like I can select the expires in expires in 6 months. So what this is asking here is like expires in 6 months. So whenever I will add a manufacturing date for this particular product, the expiry date will be like the expiry date of 6 months will be added in that manufacturing date. So we have a detailed video on how to use this expiry date. You can check out that video for all the detailed explanation on this expiry date. I can enable lot number, like if it is not for selling, I can select this one. Let me leave all this as blank. I will select the price as 100. Let me select the price as like I have to add a price for one piece, like what will be the price for one piece of this particular capsule. So I will add the price as 1 over here. The purchase price is 1, and I have set a margin of 25%, so the selling price is 1.25. I will save this one. Okay, so now we have added this product. So after we have added this product, let us add some stock for this particular product. So for adding the stock, we have two different options. Like we can use the opening stock option over here, add or edit opening stock, or if suppose we are purchasing this particular product from some supplier, then we can add a purchase for this particular product. Let me first show you an example of using the opening stock. So I will click on add or edit opening stock. So after I've clicked on add or edit opening stock, and I can add some opening stock. Let me add the opening stock of, like we have a opening stock of 10 pieces. The unit cost is 1. The expiry date is, let me select the expiry date is December 31st. The lot number is 1 2 3 4. Okay, I will save this one here. So if I will go to the POS screen, let me just open the POS screen from here. So before opening the POS screen, we have to open a cash register. I will open the cash register. I will select the cash in hand as 0. Okay, now here let me search this particular product, video demo capsules. So you can see like it is showing me an option to like select the expiry date and lot number. So I can select the expiry date and lot number when I am adding this particular product, when I am selling this particular product. And like selecting this is optional. If suppose I am not selecting this one, then like it will take the, according to our stock, like stock accounting method, it will deduct the stock from our inventory. But if suppose I am selecting any particular lot number and expiry date, then based on that lot number and expiry date, it will deduct the stock. So let me select is a strip of 10 pieces. So you can see like when I am selecting strip of 10 pieces, like it's changing the price over here. The price for one is 1.25. The price for strip of 10 pieces, like if I am selling one strip which consists of 10 pieces, then the price is 12.50. If I am selecting a strip of 12 pieces, then the price is 15. If I am selecting a cartoon of 10 pieces, then like it's increasing the subtotal over here. Similarly, you can see like it's showing a validation message over here, like only 0.10 cartoon of this strip is available. If I am selecting strip of 10 pieces, then like it's working fine over here. If I am selecting 12 pieces, then it's not working, because like we only added this opening stock of 10 pieces over here. So here I am selecting a strip of 10 piece, and I am selecting this particular lot number and expiry date, and I will click on this cash. If I will click on this cash, like it will automatically assume that like the customer has paid 12.50 to you. Like it's kind of like express, we don't have to enter multiple things over here. But if suppose like the customer will pay you $20 or something like that, that in that case you can click on this multiple pay, and from this multiple pay you can enter like how much the customer paid. Here you can select the payment method from here, if the payment method is cash, card or check, or what, all different payment methods. You can select the payment account. So let me just enter it as 15. The customer paid me $15 and he paid by cash. And like here it will, here you can show like the total item is 1, total payable is 12.50, total paying is 15. So the customer is paying me $15, but the bill amount is 12.50. So I have to give a return of 2.50 to the customer. The balance is 0 over here. Let me just make it as $10. So you can see like it is showing me the balance is 2.50. Let me just enter it as 12.50. So the both of them is 0 now. Change return is 0, the balance is 0. Let me show you an example by adding at 15 here. I can add some sell note here, staff note over here. If suppose the customer is paying $10 with cash and extra remaining dollars like 12.2.50 with card, then I can select like add payment row, and it will like add another payment method over here. So I will click on the finalize payment. So after I clicked on the finalize payment, like it's showing me invoice over here. In the invoice you can see like it is printing the lot number as well as expiry date for this particular product. We enable printing of lot number and expiry date, so it is printing these two things in the invoice along with the product name, quantity, unit price, subtotal, as well as like it's showing me all the payment related information, like paid via cash is 10.00 and via card is 2.50. And from here like you can change the page size also. Like if suppose I want to print this is in A5 printer, A5 page size, I can select the page A5 over here. So after selecting this page size A5, I can click on this in the scale. I can click on the customize. Here in the customize I can like customize this, like I can customize the invoice like how it is looking. Okay, so in 86 it is looking perfectly fine. And like you can in the options, like you can disable header and footer. If you are enabling header and footer, then it will show like this header and footer over here, the URL of the website and date and all these different things. So let me just disable header and footers from here. And like also enable this background graphics. If you are not enabling this background graphics, then it will not show the color over here. Okay, so you can click on the, if you have a printer connected, then it will show an option to print. Let me click on the cancel for now. Okay, so now we added the stock using the opening stock. Let me add a stock using the purchase. Okay, I will click on the add purchase. In the add purchase, let me go to the add purchase over here. So I will add a purchase for that particular product, for that particular capsule or the medicine. I can add a new supplier here, or Suppose we have an existing supplier, I can use the existing supplier here. The supplier reference number, purchase date is this, purchase status is received. I have already received the stock in my shop. The business location is this, pay term is 30 days. I can attach some document related to this particular purchase. Let me search this particular product, video demo capsule. So here it is showing me video demo capsule. The current stock is low, so like it's showing me the current stock as well as over here. The current stock available is 0.00 pieces. So we added a opening stock of 10 pieces and we sold the opening stock here over here. So it is showing the current stock is 10 pieces. I can add some purchase quantity. Let me add a purchase quantity of 1 cartoon over here. Like purchase quantity is 1 cartoon of 10 strips. So here it is asking me the lot number once again. I will enter a lot number. I will enter the manufacturing date. You can disable entering of this manufacturing date. Okay, I will enter the discount. If there is some discount, I will enter a discount over here, and some taxes, additional notes, payment details, and all the different things here. Okay, so now we added this is the invoice which we added. The purchase status is received, payment status is due. So if we have paid to this particular supplier, we can click on this due over here, or we can go to the action and we can click on this add payment. So in the add payment, the total payable amount is 90. Paid on date is this. I am paying via cash. I can add some notes here. Paid to Mike, and I will click on the save here. So you can see the payment status is changed to paid over here. So let me go to the POS screen once again and search for this particular product, video demo capsule. So again it is showing me the lot and expiry date here. I can select, like now we have a, like in the stock, let us go to the stock first. So let me click on this report over here. In the list products, I will click on the stock report and search for this particular product. So you can see, like in the stock we have 100 pieces of stocks available for this particular product. So I can easily sell a cartoon of 10 strips from here. So I am selling a cartoon of 10 strips. Let me sell a strip of 10 pieces from here. Okay, I will click on the cash here. Okay, let me refresh this once again. So it is showing me the current stock is 90 pieces. So the current stock value is $90, and the current stock value by purchase price is $90. By sales price it is $112.50. Potential profit is 22.50. Total units sold is 20 pieces. Total unit transferred, total unit adjusted. So in the stock reports, like it's showing me all the stock related information for this particular product. If suppose I will go to the reports, inside reports also we have a stock report here, stock report. So you can see, like in the stock report it is showing me closing stock value by purchase price is this one, closing stock value by sales price is this one. The potential profit, like based on all the products which we have, the potential profit is this one. The profit margin is 20%. So here you can see, like if I am searching for this particular product, then it is showing me all the information related to this particular product here. If I will go to the profit and loss report, in the profit and loss report it is showing me all the details of the profit here. The gross profit is $5, net profit is $600. I can filter it by date, or like I can profit by product, profit by categories. I can view profit by brands, locations, invoice, profit by date. Like we can view profit by many different things over here. Let us go to the stock expiry report. So in the stock expiry report, it will show all the expiry. It will show the product which has been expired. Like I will, so I can select the business location is this one, category is this, subcategory is this, brands. So mostly in a medical shop you will want, like you will like to know which all product are getting expired in like next 20 days or like maybe in next 1 month. So in the view stock you can like click on the if suppose I am selecting expired, then it will show me all the stocks which has been expired. So like you can see the product, this one SKU is this one, stock left is 153, and the expiry date is this one. So this product has been expired. If suppose I want to see product expiring in a week, then if I will select this one, then it is showing me on this particular stock only. Expiring in 15 days, expiring in a month, expiring in 3 months. So if I will select expiring in a year here, so it will show me all the product which will get expired in 1 year of time. So we have many different reports over here, like item reports. Let me go to the item reports over here. In the item report, like you can view which, like for this particular product, video demo capsule, this SKU is this one, purchase date is this, the purchase, like it was added from opening stock, the supplier is not, there is no supplier when we are adding opening stock. The purchase price was $1, the sales date, like you can see like it is showing a mapping of purchase and the sale, like which purchase, like which stock has been sold to which customer. Sales date is this one, so the purchase date is this was this one, sales date is this, and the sales ID was like the sales reference, invoice number was this one, the customer was walk-in customer, location is Awesome Pharmacy, quantity is 10 pieces, selling price is this, subtotal and this. So in the item report, like it is showing me the details of the purchase and the sales, like which purchase has been sold to which customer. So similarly in the expense report, you can add expenses you can add expenses related to your shop, and it will show the expense report over here. Sell payment report, purchase payment report, product sell report, product purchase report, trending products. Let us click on the trending products. Inside trending product, it will show me all the products which are like in more demand. So you can see like this particular product, it is in more demand here. Video demo capsule, like it has been sold 20 units, but this particular product it has been sold 27 units. You can select a date range here. So for today's date range, it is showing me all the details here. I can select the date range as last month, and I can apply the filter. So we have purchase and sales report, stock adjustment report, lot report. So let us go to the lot report. So similar to expiry report, in the lot report we can view like the lot number was this, the lot number is 1234, expiring in this, the current stock left is 0 pieces. The lot number was this, expiring date is like this one, and in a year the current stock left is 90 pieces. So in the lot report, it will show the details of different lots which we have.